Okay, Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Rakah Kwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, and salutation you Akim out there that's been pushing this road in truth and in sincerity. I have a little testimony, something small, concerning things that's happening on my job. You know, it's this guy that work on my job, a Hispanic guy, and he got transferred to LTC. He was once working in receiving, but he wasn't getting along with his coworkers over there, so they transferred him over to LTC. Now, in LTC is a lot of women. You have a couple of dudes, there about 4 or 5 dudes, but basically LTC consists of a lot of women. So, to make a long story short, all right, after a while, he came to me. He's like, "Yo, bro, let me ask you for your opinion." I said, "What you mean? What's up? Speak to me." He said, I need your advice on this. I need your opinion." That's what it is. He was like, "Nah, my cousin, you know, he's locked up. And he has this chick that be giving me the eye." I said, "What are your cousin locked up for?" He said, "Nah, we be hustling." I said, "What you be hustling?" "We be hustling weed and crack." He got locked up for selling drugs. So I said, he was like, "So now I said, so now what?" He was like, "Nah, the girl he's with is giving me the eye, so what will you do?" I said, "Me personally, I wouldn't touch it, but nah, let me tell you why I'm thinking about getting with that pop." He didn't say popping it, he said fucking it. I said, "What do you mean though? That's wicked. Why would you do that?" "Nah, because it was this chick that I was interested in, and my cousin wound up getting with her." I said, "But did you have sexual relations with her?" "No, I was just digging her. And my cousin wound up getting with her, and now he got 2 kids by her, and that's in the past, but now the chick he with now, she's giving me the eye." So I said, "Oh, so this is a revenge thing." He said, "Nah, not really, but you know, what would you do?" I said, "I stay the fuck away from her. First and foremost, that's adultery. They're not married though. They don't have to be married. That's his woman. Once he stuck his rod in her, that's his woman, man. And why would you want to share body fluids with your cousin? Don't you know a man to kill you for his woman? Put yourself in that situation. You got a woman, right? What would you do if another man try to do that to you and your family at that?" He said, "I'd be mad." I said, "So why would you do that to your cousin? Why would you inflict that same pain on your cousin that you don't want inflicted on you?" He ain't got nothing to say. He's quiet. So I was like, "Hey, you do what you want. Me, my personal pain, I wouldn't do it. But you do what you want, bro. Yeah, apparently you got your mind made up. You just wanted somebody to co-sign it for you. But I'm not co-signing no wickedness, bro. That's wicked. I wouldn't do that. So my thing is, this dude, he not right in the spirit. Puerto Rican nigga. I'm not even calling him an Ephraim. He's a Puerto Rican nigga. He's not right in the spirit. So I'm like, yo, why would you want to sleep with your cousin's woman now that he's locked up? That's some nigga shit. And then he's a witch because he's selling instruments to alter a man's mind. And I asked him, he told me, "I'll be hustling. We be hustling." "What you hustle?" "Cracking weed." Who sells fucking crack in 2023 with the high-tech surveillance they have out here? That's why your cousin is locked up. And you next. So I try to tell them, "Listen, man, just stay far away from her, man. But you're going to do what you're going to do because you already got your mind made up. But I stay away from her. My advice to you." I have a few scriptures, man. That was just a little testimony showing you the wickedness of our people, man. You out there gang banging, selling drugs, and you trying to get your shit right to make it legit because apparently, I forgot to mention, he's on parole. So you on parole, you got a job to cover your ass, but you out there still hustling, selling your weed and selling your crack. So you looking for another trip behind the wall. Or the Most High put you to death. If you commit the act of adultery, that sin is worthy of death. This is the book of Sirach, chapter 7, verse 1. "Do no evil, so so shall no harm come unto thee. Now, committing adultery is an act of evil. Selling drugs is evil. So it says so he's committing evil out there. Do no evil. Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee. Because when you commit adultery, harm can come unto you. Because the Lord can have it whereas you get caught in the very act of adultery with that woman, and he put both of you to death or put you to death. So you got to be mindful. Do no evil, so shall no harm come unto thee. Verse 2. Depart from the unjust. And that dude is unjust, man. That's why, once he asked me that question, I just walked away from him. I was never really conversating with the dude because he's a worker. I'm a supervisor. I'm never really around him. But he asked me for my opinion, and I gave him my opinion. After that, I walked away from him. It says, depart from the unjust, and iniquity shall turn away from thee. My son, Salakia, it says, my son, sow not thou, Salakia, my son, sow not upon the furrows of unrighteousness, and thou shalt not reap them sevenfold. He's sowing the furrows of unrighteousness by selling drugs, the act of committing adultery, and he's going to reap it sevenfold. Either he's going to get locked back up for selling drugs or going to get put to death for committing adultery with his cousin's woman, which is totally off and wicked, man. It says, my son, sow not upon the furrows of unrighteousness, that's an unrighteous act. You want to commit adultery with your cousin's girlfriend out there selling drugs. Whether it's weed or crack, it's still an instrument to alter your mind and its wickedness. And you are likened unto a witch, and the Lord says, thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. So eventually, you're going to get put to death if you don't change your ways. But he's part of the 2/3. He's not going to change his ways. He just a straight up nigga. A Spanish speaking nigga. That's what he is. Because this dude, he's not going to learn. He's not going to take my advice. He's going to get the advice from somebody else, and that person that he's going to take that advice from is going to say, yeah, I do it. So he's going to feel compelled that he can do it because he got somebody that's agreeing upon him. I don't agree with what he was saying, so eventually he's not going to take my advice, man. This is Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1. It says, my son, forget not the law, but let them. It says, my son, forget not the law. He don't know the law. This is talking to a man that has knowledge of this truth. It says, my son, forget not my law, but let thine heart keep my commandments. We in Babylon, we yet this day in our captivity, pursuant to Baruch chapter 3, verse 8. But yet, we're gonna acknowledge the law, statutes, the commandments to the best of our ability. And we're not going to commit no wicked acts, such as adultery. And we're not going to commit no wicked acts, such as selling drugs, which is being likened unto a witch. It says, but let thy heart keep my commandments, for length of days and long life and peace shall be added to thee. Because you out there selling drugs, your length of days is going to be shortened because somebody's going to come around and smoke your ass. You out there committing adultery, you're going to get caught in a very act of adultery and get put to death. Or that chick can have some kind of disease and give you a deadly disease, and that'd be your judgment. It says, for length of days and long life and peace shall be added unto thee. There's no peace unto the wicked, and 2/3 of you Negroes, Hispanics, and Native Americans are totally wicked. It says, let not mercy and truth forsake thee, bind them about thy neck, write them upon thy tables of thy heart. 2/3, and it's not going to acknowledge any righteous deed, any righteous saying within these scriptures because they don't know them. And when you try to tell them about them, and this dude actually know about the Israelites. I never mentioned that I'm an Israelite. I never mentioned anything of that, but he be watching IUIC because after we talked about that later on that day, while we was in the cafeteria, he came to me and said, yo, check this out. What you know about these guys here? And I was like, oh, she listens to IUIC, you know? He was like, yo, I be going to their camps. They have a camp, on 149th Street and 3rd Avenue. I be going there. Because I live close in that neighborhood. I was like, yeah, okay, that's good, man. What they talk about? They talk about the Bible. So now you have some kind of knowledge of the Bible, bro. In my mind, I'm saying this, but I'm not saying it to him. I'm just listening to him. This dude's a total demon, man. And I don't want to be around that nigga because I don't want that vibe. I don't want them demons trying to jump on me. So I'll be avoiding him. But when he see me, because I'm a supervisor, I spend most of my time in the office. But when he see me, he try to come talk to me, try to vibe me. I don't want to vibe with you, nigga. So it says, for length of days and long life and peace shall be added unto thee. Let not mercy and truth forsake thee. Bind them about thy neck and write them upon the tables of thy heart. So shall thou find favor and good understanding in the sight of God and man. But when you out there committing adultery, man, we out there committing all kind of wickedness, selling drugs, they're all looking at you sideways. And eventually he's going to put you to death. It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. He was leaning on his own understanding. Oh, I'm going to go and do it. I'm going to commit that adulterous act. Even though he was asking for my advice, but he's really asking me to co-sign his wickedness. And I wasn't going to do it. It says, trust in the Lord with all thine heart and lean not unto thy own understanding. And in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct thy paths. And when you acknowledge the Lord's going, if you are part of the elect, the Lord's going to direct your paths. Case in point, he showed me that he be listening to IUIC. So the Lord is trying to work with him, I guess, because it could be for his ruin, or it could be for him to get right. And the Lord will direct your paths to the right camp if you are part of the elect. But the way he's going, that dude he's leading straight to destruction. Straight to destruction. This is Proverbs chapter 4, verse 10. Here it says, hear, O my son, and receive my sayings. It says, and the years of thy life shall be many. I have taught thee in the way of wisdom. I have led thee in the right paths, which is the truth. This is talking about the elect, or the hope of the elect. A man that has been called into this thing and has been given knowledge and wisdom. And the secrets of the highest. This truth. It says, when thou goest, thy steps shall not be strained, and when thou runnest, thou shalt not stumble, if you keep on the right path, doing that which is right in the eyes of the Most High. Take fast hold of instruction, let her not go, keep her, for she is thy life. Enter not into the path of the wicked. Enter not into the path of the wicked, and go not in the way of evil men. Avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it, pass away. And he's one of them wicked men out there. And when I see this dude, man, I try to avoid that dude. But I'm a supervisor, so he tried to talk to me. Hey, all you got to do is show your face and you working. You ain't got much to say to me. You don't have much to say to me. You asked me for my advice. I gave you my advice. Listen to your wicked counsel. Listen to your wicked words and your wicked thoughts. I know you ain't right in the head. Nah, then you also told me that you sell, you hustle. So you got to avoid a dude like that. And he has knowledge of the truth. And you still doing wicked things? If you don't turn around, the Lord's going to destroy your ass, man. If you don't turn your ways around and start doing which is right in the eyes of the Most High is going to destroy your ass. And I'm quite sure he know that committing adultery is wicked, man. Selling drugs is wicked. It says, avoid it, pass not by it, turn from it and pass away. It says, for they sleep not, as going into Esau. And you got 2/3 that's the same, but have the same mindset. It says, for they sleep not, except they have done mischief, and their sleep is taken away unless they cause some to fall. And this is Esau. This is basically a scripture towards Esau, but you can equate the 2/3 wicked ass niggas into this same mess, the same pot, and stir them up together. It says, for they eat the bread of wickedness and drink the wine of violence. And that's the 2/3 you niggas, man. You gangbangers, you drug dealers. Avoid wickedness at all costs. But 2/3, you're not going to do that. You're not going to do that. The way, this is back in Proverbs chapter 4, verse 19. The way of the wicked is as darkness. They know not at what they stumble. Because they're going to fall. And that fall is going to be hard and severe. You may get life in prison for catching a body, or you may be bodied. Bottom line, man. Bottom line. Avoid wickedness. And avoid wicked ass niggas. Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 11. Because sentence against an evil worker is not executed speedily, therefore the hearts of the sons of men is fully setting them to do evil. Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know that it shall be well with him that feareth God and fear before him. Bottom line, man, fear the Most High, do that which is right in the eyes of the Most High, and avoid evil. Shalom.